All right. Good evening once again. All right. We so far so good. We are gradually covering most of the HTML tags and also mastering some of the basic CSS for beautification or beautifying the contents. Yesterday we talked about iframe, and then we looked at look at how you can embed another HTML document within your website or in another HTML document. I took my time to explain the necessity of that system that it saves us from. It allows us to reuse certain code or certain documents within your web page or outside your web page. We also look at how to embed an external file or video into our HTML documents. That is where you were given the assignments you just displayed now, which I said you should clone or integrate not less than my 5 YouTube videos in your website page, which you have done. You are doing well. I want to appreciate you for keeping to doing assignments. That is the reason why we are moving this fast. So just keep it up. Okay, so I told us in yesterday's section that I actually plan to look at another topic, but later I realized that we have not concluded HTML media tags. So in this section, we shall be looking at HTML listing tag, the HTML listing tag. So what I'm going to do, just to be able to remind me where I implement this set of tag, I think I need to create another file just for the purpose of the lecture. So I will name it lists.html. And then as usual, I will start by activating my HTML default file. So on my document title, I'll simply say, we are learning HTML listing tags. So let's start with a proper definition. What is HTML listing tag? Then I will also cite different scenarios where we can apply these tags. Like I always advise, yes, I understand that we are still at the level of mastering tags, which I said they are the building blocks when it comes to web programming. So the knowledge of these tags determines the content you can actually publish or create in your website pages. That is the main reason why we have been spending time to understand them, because after some time we will start a real project. So what we are doing, like I said before, is just trying to understand few of the building blocks or tags that will be very useful to us when we start building the real websites. So by that time, I am not going to be explaining. I will only be applying them. And I assume then that you have already known them, and that is what we are doing. So that's why you see that most time when I am explaining some of them, that I know that they are not they are very essential. I like relating a real life scenario so that you can understand them better. So let's start with what is HTML listing tags. HTML listing tag. Let me use comments, purpose of documentation. What is HTML listing tag? So how do we define HTML listing tag? So HTML listing tag provide several, or let's say HTML provide several tags to create lists command which are essential for organizing and presenting contents in a structured manner. So this is a simple definition of HTML listing tag. So the keyword here is for organizing and presenting content in a structured manner. Now, just to bring it down to a layman understanding or a layman definition. Now, supposing let's assume that we have a task given to us as developers. We have a task before us. We are building a website, and the client says we should publish the list of services he or she offers. For example, build a website for me and mention or list all my services. Mention or list all my services in a structured manner. So let's assume you are given this kind of task. So when we say structured manner, we are simply saying that by the time you start listing the item, we are not saying that number one will be here, then number two will be here. Let me see if I can use my notation to explain better. Let's say I want to mention the services this client or customer offers. So I'll say, okay, maybe number one is computer training. Number one, let's say computer training. Let's say number one is computer training. That is, you can see I'm using bullet. The next one is maybe says, the next one maybe says of computer. For example, says of computer. So you can see that I have been able to list out the customer services in a structured manner. What makes it structured? The list of items are organized. It is not like you call the first one here, and then you are not calling another one here, then another one here. So this is not a structured manner. Okay, and don't forget that when we are building the front end of a website, we need to consider the user's experience. So we have to make sure that the user does not find it difficult to exploit the content. Okay, so now this is a perfect scenario where you are to use what? HTML list. So you can actually list items vertically, which is most adopted, and then you can also list item horizontally. So I just did that illustration to give you a picture of what we are trying to achieve in this section. So the task is we are to build a website for a customer and also mention all the list or the services the person's offer. So that is a perfect scenario for using lists. So let us quickly talk about types of HTML listing before we come back to answering that question. Let's look at types. Types of HTML listing. Types of HTML listing. So there are three types of HTML listing. There are three types of HTML listing. The first one is called order lists. Order lists. Order lists, which is always denoted as OL. So the OL represents order lists. Now the second type is on order lists. On order lists. Order lists. So which is also denoted or represented with UL. UL. So whenever you see a tag that carry UL, it's talking about on structure or on order what lists. Then of course we have another one which is sometimes not used by most developer, but it might play its role depending on you. But because you are learning, I have to capture all of them so that you can understand them, which is called definition. Definition list. Definition list, and is denoted as DL. Okay, so these are the three major types of HTML lists. So let me get a response. Hope you understand what I've explained so far. Are you following?
Yes.
All right. So, like I said, these are the three types of listing. So, which means that for you to mention, if I could just go to the front end of this particular page, I think let us quickly connect our CSS file now, but I think I have to dedicate a separate CSS file just for this file so that you know how to do that as well. Because the disadvantage of using a single CSS file to style all your HTML file is that once anything happens to that very one, it will affect all the pages that are connected to it. So sometimes best practice suggests that we should have, if possible, individual dedicated CSS file for each of the HTML files. So just to add, so I will just go to my CSS folder, and then let me just create a CSS file. I will name it the same list, but the extension will be the CSS. Then, of course, I need to link them together. I go to my head section as usual. Then I'll simply say reference the CSS folder and then select the CSS file. So with that, I've connected the CSS
Wait,
and
sir,
okay,
sir. So this thing you're doing,
you are muted.
sir, what you're doing in list.html, you can't do it in index.
You mean this very one?
Yes.
Yes, you can do it in the index, but I want to separate them since you are just
No, here you're just explaining. Here you're just explaining
yeah,
the yet.
sorry, you muted before. Come again.
Here you're just explaining what listening
Yeah,
tag is. You've not yet done anything.
yes,
I'm saying when you want to do the actual work, can't you do it on index?
yes, it's possible, but I just want to separate it. I just want to
Okay.
separate it. But normally, it is the index page that I am supposed to, that is if the request, depend on where I want to mention. In fact, this is not where you are supposed to mention the name, the list of services the customers offer. You are supposed to have a page called services, just like the way you have in that is where you should be mentioning all these lists. Exactly. But
Yes, sir.
as well do it if you want to mention few of them in the home page, that means you do it in your index. So depending, you can actually create it in any of the pages. But I just decided to have a blank new file so that when we are viewing the front end, those video, those other things that we have created will not distract the view of our output. Now, like I was saying, so these are the three types of HTML lists. In other words, these are the three ways you can list items in your websites. So now let us quickly look at each of them. I'm going to start with the order list. So how do we define, or what is the main function of the order list? The order list creates an order list where items are numbered or marked with specific sequence. Let me see if I can be fast with the writing. I said this one creates an order list, comma, where item. So the emphasis here is on item are number. Let me break it down so that you can see it. Are numbered or marked sequence. Sorry, or mark with a specific sequence. Now, the target here is, when you start leaning out listing, the focus is that what will be the marker? What will be the marker? Now, I think let me just create it. Let's look at its declaration before I explain better so that it will not be difficult for you to understand. So let's say HTML order list declaration. So what is its syntax? Now, what we want to actually achieve is that we want to mention item number one. Number one is let's say we are creating for Digital Z Hub now. We want to list the number of IT program we train on this platform. So I will say number one, web development. You see that number, that is the emphasis. How do you sequence the item? Is it with number or with bullets? So that is what determines whether it is order list or what on order list or definition list. Now, in as much I want to use mark like 1, 2, 3, or Roman number like Roman number I, or ABCD, that falls under order list. So we'll come to that aspect in a moment. So how do we declare it? You simply type OL. That is why I said it is represented with OL. Once you type OL, it will pop up the tag. So this is part of the HTML block elements or HTML grouping element, just like div. So which means that the OL is the container that is going to hold all the lists, all the item. Now, for you to now call all the item, as in what this OL does is just to define the type of marker, whether it's going to be numbers or bullets. That is what the OL does. So now for you to now mention the item, we need to bring in another HTML tag, which is used alongside with the OL. Anytime you use OL or UL, which is on order list, you will definitely require another sub tag to mention those items. For example, for proper understanding, let me use my annotation to explain it. So let's say number 1, this is exactly what we want to achieve. Web development. This is the first program. Let's say number 2 is AutoCAD. AutoCAD. Then number 3 is data analysis. Let's say data analysis. Okay, so you can see now that OL is what we generate. This is what the OL will generate. The OL will only define the numbering format that, okay, because he started with OL, then it means that the marker should be number or should be Roman number or alphabet. Now, what we now create this content for the marker is called LI, which is what? The list tag. So this is the list. Okay, so this is what you use in populating the content for the marker. So the OL as a container is going to produce only the marker, but it will not produce the content. Do you understand that first?
So,
Okay, so now if I clear all this and try to check the front end to see if we have actually outputted anything by just calling OL. Let's see, no content, but the OL is there. Now, that will not take us to the list tag, So the list tag is used, let me call it, so you declare it inside the OL. You just say LI and then press enter. Now, in between the opening section of the tag and the closing section of the tag, you supply the content, like the item I mentioned before. So this is where I'll think,
sir, please can you wait?
okay.
You say linking. You ask whether what
What's the meaning of LI?
LI means
List.
Did you understand it now?
Yes, sir, you can carry.
Can I continue? Hello? Can I continue?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the LI is to display the content inside the OL. Now let's go to the front end now. So I said here is web developments. So we are listing the list of program we train on. So if I go back to the front end, you see that what you have mentioned one item. Now the question is that what generated this one? Please respond. What do you think generated the one? Because the LI, which is the list tag,
is the one that generated this, but what created the one? I want to know if you are following.
I think it's because
Sorry, I don't know. I didn't hear you. You think it's what?
of the OL that it is.
Good, good. That's why I was saying that the OL job is just to create the number, the marker, while the LI inside the OL is to mention those items. So for each item, you have to call LI for each item. So the next one, like we mentioned before, is AutoCAD. Then another LI, we are still inside. You shouldn't use these tags outside a container. They go with the OL. Now, the next one is data analytics. Data analytics. So if I go back to the front end now to confirm, you can see that you have successfully listed what? 3 items. So this is what we call HTML listing. HTML order lists. Order. Why are we saying it's order? Because truly the list, the items are structured in a specific order. That is what? 1, 2, 3. They are not scattered. So I would like you to achieve this for me as class 1 before I continue. So it's either you are creating it in your index page, just look for any of those pages and apply what I've done before I continue. You can share your screen just for 3 minutes. You should be able to achieve this. Share your screen.
So I already put my OL on my listing.
Okay, that's good.
So since I'm still using my previous site, I'm going to just continue with clothes.
Yes.
And maybe I'm going to mention like types of maybe skirt types.
Okay.
Like this. Why are you doing that, man?
I don't know what you mean. It was a practice.
Yeah, you see how you're got the whole gel now.
Oh my God.
Yeah, got the whole gel now. Yeah, you have got the entire thing. This one. Maybe.
So you have to be talking so that we can.
So if I check my front page now.
Okay.
Mm.
Let's see where you have the item. So where are they?
Okay, wait. Let me try them. Wait. Let me remove this one.
Yes. I will do it.
See them here.
Where are they? Okay, they are under
They
somewhere.
are under the last video.
Okay. Okay, good, good. I can see it. I can see it.
You.
This
Yeah.
was exactly what good. So that is okay. That you can unshare. I just want you to master that before I proceed. Just you can unshare now. Let's proceed. So all right, so so that is how to use the order list. So now we are going to look at
But also, sir,
yes, I'm with you.
before if I want to put a heading, I'll put the heading tag before
Good.
I put it.
Before the OL, let's say
Yes.
types of before the OL, you put heading tag. Good.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
All right. So now, so this is the first part of the OL, that is order list you need to know. So now we want to do something else, which is called on our order list attributes. Order list attributes. Let me still use here as my comment. Order lists attributes. Order list attributes. Now, if you could remember, I have told us before that when you are working with HTML tags, you need to understand what attributes are. attribute plays a major role in modifying the actual tag function of HTML. Like I defined then, I said attribute provide, just for you to know, attributes provide additional information about HTML tags. Attribute provide additional information. So which means that a tag comes with its basic function. Then for you to expand the function of that tag, you need to use attribute to what? To provide additional functions. So for example, now this is why we are bringing attributes. Now, if you are using order lists, there are three markers you can actually use. In this case, by default, it has already been set on numbers. Now, for example, if I want to use Roman figure, instead of number 1, number 2, it will now be what? I, Roman figure, I, and I. Or I want to use alphabets. Let's say this one will now be A, this will be B, this will be C. So we don't have any tag that will bring out the other two that I mentioned by default. Each time you call the OL tag, it will always come with default numbers numbering. So how do you now modify it? How do you now advance it from numbers to Roman figure? That is where attribute comes in. Okay, so it will now be order list what? Attributes. Now, the order list attributes, in other words, let me say the attributes is used to manipulate the marker. Let me see if I can put it somewhere here. I said the attributes. The attribute is used to manipulate the markers. So what is the marker in this case? If I go to the front end, the marker is this, number 1, number 2, number 3. So that is exactly what we want to manipulate. And the name of the attribute is type. The type. Now remember, most attributes will come in pairs. That is, you have the name side, type, equals to, and then you have something like this. So all I need to do is to add this type attribute inside the OL, the container. Now you know what is responsible for the marker, not the content. So you go into the opening section of the OL and space and type. So once you bring it out like this, you can see it's already showing all of them. You know, I told you that by default, it is already programmed on numbers. So there's no point of us confirming number. Let's confirm capital letter A or small letter A or capital letter Roman number or small letter Roman number. So let's confirm alphabet. So just by adding this, if you go back to the front end now, you see what you get. You can see that I have changed the marker. Did you understand that?
Sir.
Okay. Now, that is one of the type. Now, another type is if I put small letter alphabet, if I go back to the front end, you can see that it has also changed to what? Roman, that is a small letter numbering. Now, if I put I here, just type I on your keyboard, that is Roman numbering. So if I go back to the front end, you can see that I have also switched to what? Roman numbers. So these are the three attributes that you can actually use to manipulate your order lists. Order lists. When we get to on order, we are going to use CSS. For this one, you can use the attribute type, and then it's not less for you to supply the right information needed. Okay, so I want to give you 1 minute to confirm it. You don't need to share your screen. So once you confirm it, you let me know. 1 minute. 1 minute.
Okay, sir. Yes, I've done it.
Okay. All right. So that's let me quickly also show you that you can actually list any content. It's not only text. I can list pictures. I can say, okay, on my web page, I want to say Roman figure 1 or I is one image. I is another image. So that you know that it is not only text, you can actually list. So if I want to do that, so what I'm going to do, since I did not use the entire space, let me manage my space. So let me create another OL here. So let me just say OL. And then after activating my list tag in order to mention the item, I will next img inside it. So what I'm listing now is what? Images. And that is why I brought in a tag that will help me to reference an image. So you must have added all the picture inside your image folder or somewhere within your website and then pick them. So I'll do the same thing, li, then inside it, I will say img, and then I will reference the second image. So if I go back to my front end, you can see that what you have also successfully listed the images. So that is to tell you that the lister can actually what hold any content, even video, depending on what you put inside the li tag. So that brings us to the end of order lists. So which means that out of the three, this one is settled. Now let's quickly look at what on order lists. Let us quickly look at on order lists. So by definition, on order list creates an on order list where items are marked with, so you are going to see the difference now, with bullets. So this is what actually makes this one different from the other one, with bullets or other symbol or other symbol or other symbol. Sorry, under symbols. So the difference between the order lists and the unordered list is that this one is not properly structured, but at the same time, unordered list, which I said is denoted with UL, uses bullets. Bullets means icon. If you have typed, on Word before, you see we have numbering, bullet, and numbering. So in bullet means using shape. So in the place of where you say I, to not be a shape, can be asterisk shape, it can be any shape, just to enhance the tracing of the lines. So that is when it becomes on order lists. Now, let's quickly look at how to apply it, how to apply the on order list. So on ordered lists declaration, order list declaration syntax. So if I may just add it here, you start by typing UL and then you hit enter. So the same thing, it will open, you expand it to show that it is a container. All right, so like I said, on order lists declaration is simply typing UL. Now, the same li tag you are going to use to mention the item. The only difference is that this will generate different marker instead of 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, or Roman number. So what do I want to mention? Let's say I want to replicate the same thing here. So I could just copy the whole of this because it's the same thing. But just that I'm going to use different marker. So I can just come here, just go inside my on order list and paste. So if I go back to the front end, you will notice that what? You have the same item listed, but with different marker. So this is the bullet we are talking about using a shape. Now, this one actually has strengths than this. So you as a developer, the client will not tell you whether you are to use order lists to mention their services in any of the web pages. But it is within your prerogative to know as a professional, to know whether the priority is on counting. If the priority is on counting, that is, you would like the user to know that there are 10 things or there are 5 things. That is, you are emphasizing on they should count to know how many. If the priority is just, mentioning them without, emphasizing on counting, then you can use what? On order list. So this one is actually stronger, but at times some places prefer this. Okay? Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I also want to give you 30 seconds to create the on order list. Don't bother to share. I will check everything later. Quickly, 30 seconds to create an order list of this same item.
Damn.
Okay.
So is there any way to change the shape? How do I change the shape?
Yes, just get it first. That is the next thing I want to teach you. I just want you to get it first. Have you done it? All right. Now, let's quickly talk about on order lists. On order lists. Let's quickly talk about on order lists. On order list attributes. So let's call it style attribute, because why I'm using the word style, because here we are going to achieve this with CSS. We are not going to use just attributes, so we refer to it as style. So once you see that style, you know that what is CSS responsibility. Now, the same way I define the order list attributes. So the on order list style attributes are used to also manipulate the marker, manipulate the markers. So just as you asked now, you can see that most people are not always satisfied with this small dot as a marker. It does not in any way beautify their website or give a good user interface. So how do we manipulate it? So we are going to use style attributes using CSS. So what I'm going to do is that I may have other UL and I may not want the same style to be given to all of them. So I will now class this UL. I will class it and then I will say what? UL1. So in case I open another UL, the same style does not affect them. So I'll go to my CSS and then say dot UL1, then open my CSS declaration block. Then after this, the next thing I'm going to do is to use a property. So let me use a comment here to change the on order to change the unordered list marker use lists hyphen style. So this is the CSS property you are going to use. Hyphen tag property. Okay, now to do that, I'll simply say what? Lists. Once I call it, you see it here. Now, by default, we have that first one is called dix. So the values you can use, if you put dix here, dix like this, that is this very default you are using. Now, if I want to change it, I'll put cycle. Cycle is one of the bullets you can use. If I check the front end, you see that what? It has generated a small cycles instead of the shaded one we were having before. I can also use square. I can say square, and then if you check the front end, you see that what? You have also changed to a square shape. Well, you know what? Most of us professionals are not satisfied with any of these inbuilt bullets. So that will not take me to teaching you how to use external or design bullets. So let's quickly take that, how to use. In case you are not okay with any of those default bullets, how do you use external design? Maybe you must have used CorelDRAW or Photoshop to sketch the way you want your marker to be or bullet to be. So how do you attach it to the tag? How to use external bullets. How to use external bullets. Now, what we are going to do is to first of all get the external item ready, either by designing it or you go to Google. In this case, I'm going to go to Google and download whatever icon I want to use as my bullet and save it inside my IMG. And then from here, I will use a property using lists. Instead of saying list style, it will now be list image. So this is the property I am going to use because I am bringing in an image from external source. So let us quickly go to Google and search for a very good icon we can use. So let's say I want to use check icon. Let's say I want to use this check icon. I want to use any of this as my bullet. So let me use this very one. So I will right click on it as usual, save it as image, then target your root folder, which is on desktop, and then on desktop is online web, where is it? Online web training. Then go into the image folder, and then you can just name it check icon, and then I save it. Okay, so now I will go back to my coding page, and then what I'm going to do, instead of this, I'm not going to use that again because that one is for using any of the inbuilt icon. So I'll simply say list image. You can see it here, list style image. Now, because the image is coming from outside, it is not built in the program, I will use URL. I will add URL to it just to specify that I'm bringing in external what? Object. Then I will also slash in order to see all the directory within my root folder. Then remember where we saved that image, I'll go to image, and then are you sure we save it in the right? Okay, sorry, that is not the folder. The folder name is web class. So I need to go back to my desktop, or let me just redirect it. Save again. So go back to desktop, web class, not online, web class, web class, web class, web class. Then go inside the image as well. So let's say check icon 2 or 1. So I go back to my, let me reference the URL again. So if I come here, I should be able to see it now. Now, if I go back to the front end, you will see that the icon has been created, but it appears too big. We need to reduce the size. Now, to reduce the size, mind you, you cannot select it from the HTML. The reason is that you did not create it as an object. You did not add it in your HTML, you did not add it through an image tag. So what you do is that you go and resize it manually. So how do we do that? I will use Paint. Paint is in every window. So I'm going to use Microsoft Paint. Paint is a default Microsoft Windows application that can allow us to edit pictures without us going to a complex program like CorelDRAW or Photoshop. Now, I'll simply locate that folder, web class, where is it? Web class. So open it up, then go into the image folder. This is what you want to resize. Right click on it and select open with option. And then you will see Photoshop, depending on where you want to resize it. But I'm using Paint because it's faster in this case. And then I will just select Paint. Then you wait, it will open the Paint environment for us to resize it. Let's hold on for it. Okay, so this is your Paint environment. Now from here, you click on this icon. So once you select this icon, it will prompt you resize and scale of your image. Switch from percentage to pixel. So you can see the reason why it's too big. The horizontal, the width is 160. So let's make it a very small icon by just giving it what? 30, and then it will automatically calculate the equivalent vertical axis in order to give you a better shape. So you click OK. Now, you don't have to save as, because if you save as, you will re-reference the image. So what you do is that just click on save icon here to update it. That is, once the one in the root is updated, it will also update the website. So if I go back to my website, you will see that what I have been able to to adjust it. Did you understand it?
Yes, sir. But sir, I'm trying to do this on my laptop now, but it's not working.
Okay, so let's do it together. So share your screen, because you need to know This is a bit complicated. Well, share your screen. Let's handle it together.
And this is my UL link. I've already classed it and everything.
Okay.
I changed this one to an image. Let me show you. I changed this one to an image. See, and I just copied it for the. This one is for the IL. This one is for the LI. Then this one is for UL.
Okay.
Then I'm trying to dial the thing to change the. See, I'm trying to change this list style.
Ah, hold on. Delete the whole of that option. That was when we were using any of the input. So comment the whole of that line out.
So I'm not. This thing is not working.
That's what I'm saying. The list style should not be there. Either that you kill it for now and rely on only list style image.
Let me remove list style image.
In fact, remove everything. Let's take it again. Remove everything. Remove everything. Just only the
So
list.
there's no point to remove everything now. It's the same thing.
Go ahead. You are solving a problem, and sometimes when you are solving, you need to know what is the obstacle. Go ahead and get it done. While you are using that, we are past that stage. You cannot apply both of them at the same time. Which one are you trying to apply? Is it the inbuilt symbol or the external?
I don't understand what you're saying.
Which of the on other list icon do you want to get? Is it the one built in or the one outside?
Built in.
Okay, you have not gotten that one at all.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, go back.
I've gone back.
Wait, let me see. List hyphen style square. Oh yeah, go back. And I think I saw it working. Oh yeah, let me see the front end now. So that is the reason why you can see the reason why I created my own in a different file. Now I find it difficult to see where it is. Okay. So okay, now it's not updating. You are still, well, it's updated. What I'm seeing here is when you use cycle, right?
Yes.
When you use cycle, but when you change from cycle to square, it's not changing. Can you try it in another file? So sometimes when you are having issue, you need to debugging requires try to know where the fault is coming from. Because I'm seeing something here. Look up. Just stay on the page you are. Don't leave there yet. There's something I want to show you here. Look at that where you have before styling the UL tag. There is 4 there. What is that 4 doing? Did you remove it? Okay, there's 4 there.
I've removed it.
Okay, so check now. Let's see. Because there was an alarm there that something was not properly done. So you can see it now.
Past it.
So when you are debugging, you need to check.
So once you see anything underlined red, you know that
There is a complaint.
Okay.
So go ahead and do the other one. Let's see. You can go ahead and do it there now since we have detected where the error was. You can go ahead and complete it there.
Huh? My can't see most of it. I don't know. So what was the list style type?
No. That one is the same thing with the style. So you are using image, the one of image. You are using external. Have you downloaded and added the external icon in your image folder?
Yes.
Okay, so you use the one that carry image. That is the one you are using.
Wait, I'm not seeing it. Let me go back. It says the wrong place.
So make sure that you save it in the right folder.
I know.
Here is your website folder. Where did you save it? Is it on desktop or where?
I said it on desktop.
Locate it here now. What name did you use?
I'm just going to download it again.
Okay, just go and maybe you sent it to the wrong folder. So just re-download it and make sure that you are in the right folder.
So I'm asking, what's the name of this thing again?
List. Once you type list, you see it now. Just type list. Delete that one and type list again. Select the one that have image. List style image. Good. You now type URL because you are bringing an external object. Good. All right. Now go to the front end and see whether it's big or not before you think of yeah, you can see that it's big as well. So now use the paint to resize it. No. That one that look like image tag. Sorry, image shape. That one that look like that have a user picture. Yes. Then switch to pixel instead of percentage. No, switch from percentage to pixel before you adjust. Okay. So click OK. Then you update. Click OK. Then click on that save icon so that it will update the file and also the one you have in the website. Yes. So let's go back to your website front end see now. So perfect. Exactly now.
Yes, sir.
All right. So now let's quickly, you cannot share now. Let's round up with the last list. Remember, I told us that there are 3 HTML listing tag, the order list, the unordered list, and the definition list. So let's quickly look at HTML definition list as the last one.
So is that the last for the class?
Yes. We are just looking at the 3 of them. But do you want us to go beyond the 3 of them?
No, it's okay.
Okay, so HTML definition list. HTML definition list, which I said is denoted as DL. DL tag. So that is how you declare it. So let's quickly look at the definition. HTML definition list is used to create a description. A description list, which consists of item, which consists of term and their description. Okay, now what we are saying is that
Let me just give you a perfect application of this. Let's say the item are categorical item. For example, now they are group item. You can have a customer supplying you the same product but from different location, and you want
Yes.
you want to separate them. So let's say I have items supplied from Lagos. So under Lagos, I'm describing the item from that location as maybe mouse, maybe keyboard, and so on. Then I have maybe Abuja, and then under Abuja, I have mouse, I have keyboard. So you can see the way I have been able to what? So this is going to be the term, while this will be the description. So it is, I can have color. Under color is the term. Then I can mention red, blue under it. Those ones are the description of the term. So that is when, like I said, it is mainly used where you are describing, you have a kind of categorical product where you have to describe each of the type. That is when you use the definition list. So just to declare it with the understanding of the OL is not difficult to understand. So definition list declaration. So here, I will just start by calling the main tag. So in the place of OL or UL, this one you start with DL. Then once you have opened the DL, you open it up. So this is the main container. Then you will now type the DT. The DT is what? The description of the term. That is another tag. In the place of LI, that is where you are using what? DT to achieve now, because it is a definition list. So I will say the head, the D term is the main object you want to describe. So in this case, it can be Lagos, just like what I said before. Then the next one is to describe Lagos. I will use what? DD. That is, you want to describe sub-item under what? Lagos. So I'll say Lagos, maybe, like I said before, mouse is one of the option. So I continue to use DD to keep describing all the categorical items under Lagos. Maybe printer, then still under Lagos item, DD, I'll say maybe laptop. Okay, now I'm done with this one. I'm still inside the DL. So after that, I will now come outside and start again to describe the next category of item, DT. And then under the DT term, that is the main term, is, let's say, Abuja. Then I will now start describing the term, which is what? Abuja, using the DD tag. And then I will say Abuja, maybe the same printer, but just want to specify the copies from Abuja. So DD, I still have Abuja mouse, and then probably DD. All of these are still inside the definition list. So I would say, let's say keyboard. Now, if I go to the front end now and see the difference, you can see what we have here. Let me remove this. You can see it now. You can see the way it's arranged them. That is, you can, okay, under Lagos, you have this sub-item. Under Abuja, you have this sub-item. So this will also be very useful, where a customer will tell you that, okay, my product are categorical. That is, I have this setup, maybe computer set. Under computer set, you have keyboard, you have mouse. Then we have electronic. Under electronic, you have DVD, you have flash, and so on. That is when you use the definition list. You can see the way it created a kind of a margin just to differentiate the parent from the child element. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you can also go there and do the CSS of all these. Okay, you can define their color just like what we are doing the other time. I think there's a place where we have already, because I'm going to leave that as an assignment. So you're going to style your UL, like UL now. I can come here and say what? Color. So I believe these are things you can do. I can say color. So if I go back to the front end, you can see that what I've been able to change the color. Then if I want to give background color to, I want to talk to only the LI. I want to talk to, because if I put background color here now, background color, let's say red, and then I go back, you can see that what I've been able to give the whole of that OL as a container a background color. But now the background color is covering the entire width, which means that it's a block element which automatically take 100% width of the page. So if I want to reduce it, remember, I will just come here and say what? Width. Okay, so I can just say, okay, reduce this to 50%. Reduce it to 50%. So if I go back to the front end, you can see that I have reduced it. Now, if I want to talk to the LI itself, not the container, what I'm going to do is this. I'll come outside and say, talking to only LI. I will just reference the parent. Remember the concept I was teaching you yesterday, using parent element to access a child. So I will say what? The class name of that parent is ul.ul1. So I will just space, I will say what? Li. So that it doesn't affect Li under OL. So what you have said is that what? Only transform the Li inside this particular what? Parent. So I will say color. I'll say color based on the background I'm using. I would like to go with white. So if I go back to the front end, you can see that what I have been able to talk to only the LI. You can see there are other LI we created, but those one we are not spoken to. Why? Because we selected this LI with their parents. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so your assignment is that you style all of them, do as much as possible as you can. Maybe color, just like what I did now. So it is not less for you, but just your assignment is, if you want to write it down, you can write it down. Assignment is that create a service page. What it means is that you are going to add service. If you have not created that, you are going to create a page called service. Dot html. This is not dot html. Now, on that page, you list 10 services the company offers. Do you get that? You
Yes,
list
sir.
10 services. Okay, 10
Yeah.
services, 10
Yeah,
services
close for me.
for OL, 10 services for
Over now.
UL, and then
Very
another
pleasing.
another 10 services for the DL. Is that taken? Please, I want to end.
Yes, sir.
So that's your assignment. So I hope to see the assignment before we commence the next class. Any question?
No, sir.
All right. So see you. That should be tomorrow now, right? No, sorry, Tuesday. That's
No, Tuesday. Yeah.
Tuesday. Okay, so
Yeah.
just today and tomorrow. I know you do that. All right.
Okay.
Bye for now. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, this is where we draw the curtain. In case you come across this video, on YouTube and you are wondering who are the people dishing out this quality lecture, we are known as Digital Z Hub. It's an online platform where you can learn from the experts that have spent not less than 20, 15, 10 years in practicing technology. Programs you can learn from us are cybersecurity, web development, like this very one you just watched, data analysis, where we will teach you how to reprocess company data in order to draw actionable insights that can influence or that can guide in terms of decision making. We also train on AutoCAD. AutoCAD is majorly for the engineers. It is a computer-aided software that helps an engineer to sketch their components in a digital form. We also train on digital marketing. Our digital marketing program is very rich. That is where we teach you how to run ads almost across all the major or the giant social media platform. And then it's beyond just running ads. We also teach you how you can advertise through websites. We will also teach you content creation, teach you how to create graphics content for your advertisement. We'll also teach you how to create video. We'll teach you video editing, how you can create video adverts and all of that. We also train on general computing. So in case you have not attempted the computer before, you have not learned anything as far as the computer is concerned, we will mold you from the scratch. And then at the end of the day, you become a pro computer operator. And then we have other programs outside these ones that I've mentioned. If you want to know more of them, visit our website at www.digitechz.com.ng. So right there, you will see more of our information. You can also follow us on Facebook at Digitech Zeal Hub. Just type Digital Z Hub on your Google search engine. It will prompt you this ID. You can also use this to search us on TikTok. You can also follow us at Digital Z __ Zeal. Sorry, just dots. On TikTok, follow us with this handle. Just go there. And then I do upload free videos at the end of every session. Follow me on YouTube. Follow us on TikTok. Then you get regular updates. Now, in case you want to also join a WhatsApp group where we give daily updates as regard to upcoming training, you can visit us. Let me see if I can quickly drop the link, but just send a WhatsApp. Just message me on this, then I'll be glad to add you to the group where we have other tech like-minded people. Now, just WhatsApp me on, if you are outside Nigeria, just WhatsApp me at 234-7069-665919. Okay, so once I get your message, I will add you. Just send me a message. Sir, I came across you on social platform. Please add me to Digital Z platform. There I upload full masterclass video that you can watch free. Don't hesitate. to join us. Remember, at DigitalZ, nothing less than the best. And our training are offered via live Zoom, just like this one. It's not recorded where you don't have time to ask or to relate with the instructor. We pause at the end of each training section and then for students to ask questions. Remember, when you learn from experienced instructors, you don't just learn skills, you also learn experience that will shorten your experience lifespan. Thank you for coming across this video. Do well to continue to enjoy our services by following us. Bye for now.